Any more bankruptcies out there? I saw a Van Dyke site sold, another Van Dyke site sold.
Which one?
Van Dyke site sold. Say that 4 times fast, TK.
No.
Van Dyke site sold. Van Dyke site sold. Van Dyke site sold. Van Dyke site sold.
Mm-hmm. Like we read every newspaper article and online article that's come out in the last week, and we're just
really
updating.
do that, though, don't you? Do you not read the articles? Do you
I read
find
a
out
lot of
most
them.
of your news on this show as well,
I,
TK?
re I read a lot of them. I usually get you to read most of them and then update me, but I read the ones that are important. And there's a lot
It's
of
hard
stuff
to.
out there right now.
There's a
Did you
lot of
see
stuff
the
out there.
BC landlords who are able to get a ruling on a 23.5% rent increase over 2 years on their tenants because they've got increase into their variable rate payments?
I did see the headline, but I'll be honest. I saw the headline and I was like, I'll bet you when I read this, it's like not going to be anything close to the headline. It'll be some kind of
It's pretty
bullshit and
catchy
not.
because it's like, exorbitant increase. And so it makes everyone kind of think like, wow, like, this is crazy. But, above guideline rent increases that you can apply for, like you can show that there's been a significant increase to your payments. Like that's always been a thing, even in Ontario. And BC and Ontario's landlord tenant boards are pretty similar. So if you can come there and document it to the point where um, you can justify an above guideline increase, then there are people who do get them. I know
Well,
people who've recently got things like 5%, 6%, things like that.
right.
When I say
Okay.
recently, I think like within the last couple of years.
5, 6%.
Yeah.
Okay. So the baseline increase that you're allowed at the moment is 2.5%.
2.5%
23%, TK.
over 2 years.
How do you justify that? Like your mortgage didn't go up that much, did it?
Why not? I bet you it did. Yeah.
Maybe it did.
I bet it did. And these
23%
guys are
more.
bleeding and they probably had really good lawyers.
Hold on, but raising
They
the
said,
rent
we're
23%
we're taking this one to
is
the board.
that's a
There's some properties.
lot.
Let's talk about that.
That's
Let's
not your
talk about
cost increase. That's your
let's
rent
Daryl,
increase.
let's
Don't
talk about
forget.
this because this is a very sensitive subject because there's two camps here. One is the people who say, how dare they increase the rent on the people who have rent? They've been there forever and they've got to pay, market rents. Like that's crazy. Like my grandma's paying $600 a month living in that apartment. She's been there since 1978 and she ain't going nowhere. And I get
Yeah.
it. I don't
And
want
I'm
your grandma to
moving
be
in
out on the
there when
street.
she dies.
I don't want her to be out in the street. I want her to be safe and in a home that she can afford. But there is a certain amount of reasonableness that I think needs to be applied in a lot of situations. Like maybe even a time limit on guideline rent increases. Like, maybe after 10 years, you can go to market rent. And then grandma would have adjusted a long time ago because in 88, 98, 2008, 2018, she would have adjusted
She
and
would have
she would have
moved out a
found a
long
way.
time ago.
No, she would have found a way to make
Found a
it work,
way.
But these people who stay, like I sold a building one time that had a guy from 87. I know of a few places that have some like ridiculously low rent where you're just like, how is this even possible? But the people have been there long enough, you know? And so, in my humble opinion, and no one likes this, anybody on the one side just like, screw you, realtor, you're just greedy and you just, you don't really care about the people. It's just like,
That's right.
I'm trying to find a way in order to be able to make more housing. And when you go and buy a building that's got a bunch of underperforming rents, okay, it's not a good investment. It doesn't make you want to invest in real estate. And when more money can go into real estate, more money can be invested into real estate, which means more money can be invested in housing, which means that there's going to be more people who have a place to live.
If you can
Yes,
raise the rents.
there will be a small section of people who are going to suffer because of that. And yes, it's probably the most like financially vulnerable. I get it.
Wouldn't
TK,
it
don't
be
run for
everybody?
politics.
Wouldn't it be
Horrible,
everybody will be
horrible
affected by that?
platform to be running on. No, it won't.
No.
It wouldn't be.
So
No,
hold on a sec. Was
because
it like
the people in the mid to higher ranges would be able to experience over a lifetime lower rents because there's more available properties. But because we're hanging on to protect that guy who's paying 650 in that one bedroom apartment in Keel and 401,
hanging on
who's been there for
forever?
30 years, it's like we're actually creating an issue that's bigger than what everybody else is hoping for. If catch my
Counterintuitive,
drift.
right?
Yeah.
Counterintuitive.
Well, anyways,
So hold on.
that's
But
my
are we
complaint of the
talking
day.
about like one or two tenants in the building got a 23% increase, or the whole
Yeah.
building across the board just
I
got
think it was
boom?
they each owned fourplexes, and it was one unit in each fourplex. I think that was
Oh,
what I
for
remember.
God's sakes. You see, that's what happens is you see the article, everybody saw the article and thought, oh man, like that, something's going on out in BC. They're getting to raise the rents. This is maybe fantastic. And then you
Well, maybe,
read the stupid thing,
but maybe
right?
one of those rents. So this is my point: is maybe there's a guy in that fourplex paying ridiculously low rent, and 23% on his $400 a month was only $80, right? So they were just like, "All right, Jim, you're paying $80 more a month
Yeah,
now, right?
right. 23%
Shut it."
more.
you know,
Oh, damn it,
so
Vern, you
that kind of
got me
stuff, right?
again.
So, but that's my 2 cents on it. Is that I believe that rent control does hurt the overall population. I believe that the new rules, obviously, I don't have to talk about that. November 15th, 2018, any unit that's first occupied after that date doesn't have rent control, and I don't see people making a big stink about that. But the units that have been occupied prior to 2018, I think that there should be a limit on the rent control.
And they skew the rents for the whole city, right? Because when they take these averages, they're like averaging across a whole city where a whole bunch of them have, I guess is it manipulated low rents? Like, is rent control a manipulation of the market?
Yeah, like, comment, subscribe. I'm double subscribed. Do it yourself. Didn't get to fix the show, though. Didn't get to fix the show.
Please subscribe and
Well, ooh
I think so.
absolutely. Control. The word control and manipulate are next to each other.
Like, what the hell is
right?
going on? Why do how does the building even make money still with the people with those low rents? And like, you have to have a very certain mix for that to work. And one part of the mix is that you have zero debt on the thing, I would imagine.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah. So these are the people that I come across a lot. Yeah, I come across a lot. They inherited the building from their grandfather, their father.
Yeah.
And or they've owned it for 30 years themselves. So they've got no mortgage. They paid it off a long time ago. When you buy multifamily, the properties have to be cash flowing. Otherwise, you won't get financing. So there's always going to be the debt's always going to be serviced. Obviously, there's always going to be cash flow. If you're not taking that cash flow out, people are paying down the mortgage. So at the end of the day, the mortgages get paid off. And all of a sudden now, you're kind of just like, you're tired. You're like, do I really need to raise the rents? Do I really need to? I got to go deal with that person. So these buildings are grossly undermanaged, right? And so they don't really care because they don't have the pressure of financing, making them do the things that they need to do. So it's always good when you're selling these proproperties.
It's always the pressure of renovation work that needs to be done that gets these things sold.
Turning over units, renovating, getting the refinance. But that's why there's guys who've got that skill set, right? Who are able to go around and that they're able to reposition the asset to be what it's supposed to be, and they're really good at it. We've had guys like that on the show, and I think that there's a place for that. But the average person, they're not going to do those type of things when they paid off the building a long time ago. I got lots of those clients. Are you a real estate agent and you're looking to make a change anywhere in Ontario? Guess what? We're hiring. Franklin Associates, #1 team in the GTA for all REMAX teams, #1 team for all teams from all companies for number of units sold throughout Toronto. So if you're looking to make a change, best decision I ever made was to join Franklin Associates. Go to jointeamleo.com and we can set up a call. And they admit it.
I looked at a building a couple of years ago, beautiful building, Bloor West area, really old, well maintained. And the rents were so low, right? And it's being sold as an opportunity to, increase the rents. But first, you got to evict every person that's literally shackled to the bed there so that they don't ever have to leave, right? And like, I don't understand who comes in and has a long enough term outlook and can sustain those low rents at the new purchase price. Like, I don't get how it makes any sense, right? Because nobody's selling it based on the current revenue because they know it's like half of the market rent, right? Or whatever the number is, a significant amount lower than market, right? So who's buying these things? Or are they kicking people out illegally so that they can raise the rents in every single case of a transaction of this sort?
No, the big
No,
buildings are institutionally owned, and that, just like how we had our
but they're
guest talking last
not.
week, their expectations on the horizon, or they're owned for a long
Like
time.
old Jewish guys own a ton
Buyer,
of buildings.
they own them. They've owned them for a long time. Are they
Yeah.
buying them?
But okay, but okay, fine. Well,
Right?
sometimes they're buying, but you look at a
Do
company
you know what I
like
mean?
Starlight,
Yeah.
or you look
That's
at,
the
right?
REITs. Those are the big guys. They're the ones
But
knocking
how
on
the
all those
fuck are
guys'
they
doors
doing it? Like that doesn't make any
because
bloody sense.
the returns that they need to give to their investors are
Are low.
so far. Yes.
They're so low.
Look what their dividends are. Their dividends are
What's their
peanuts.
dividends? I don't even look at that shit. Why would you even bother?
Well, because you want to know what's going out
Safe?
there
Is
in
it
the REIT.
safe? It doesn't seem so safe lately, does it? If you were in an office REIT,
No, yeah.
what's happening with that Allied REIT? Those guys owned half of downtown offices. Are they still around? I haven't heard the name Allied REIT for a while.
Well, if they get into the news for the wrong reasons, then maybe
I guess it's
we'll
good
get to
that we
know them a
haven't
little bit
heard
more.
them. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Any more bankruptcies out there? I saw a Van Dyke site sold, another Van Dyke site sold. Van
Hmm.
Dyke site sold. Say that 4 times fast, TK.
No, but
Van Dyke site sold. Van
which
Dyke
one?
site.
Which site was it? Where was it?
Wabish was the name of the road, I believe. I forget
Okay.
where it was. I want to
Mm.
say West End,
Okay.
but I mean, not a very exciting site, townhouse site. But I like people are buying, and I actually right before we started this, I got off the phone with my mortgage brokers,
Hmm.
and they said like there's a lot of activity right now. It's just mainly refinancing. No
Okay.
real
Well,
new
don't
stuff
don't
still.
don't start pumping the market here, okay, Daryl?
I'm not pumping the
But
market.
I
The
can tell
market's
you,
really weird because I
I can
also just
I
got
can tell
off a
you that there's
call.
more activity right now out
Yeah,
there. Oh
there
yeah,
is.
absolutely.
Well,
This
hold on a
week.
sec. Okay, fine. You want to talk about activity, or do you want me to tell you like how
Tell
I'm
me.
like just really able to squeeze people right now for things
Sure.
while
Squeeze away.
negotiating?
Yeah.
I had there's this other site, you know about it, TK, and
Hmm.
it's just like, I keep wanting to drop this site. Not that I want to, because I love the site. It's just we went firm on the other site. It's enough, right now, I think. If I don't know if I have the ability to focus on this site as well. But like they just keep making it better. It
Hmm.
just keeps getting better. And like I like that, TK. I like that.
Hmm.
And it's weird because even on Thelma, if you remember, we tried to give them a haircut at the last second and they told us to go fuck ourselves, right? It was a very different environment. And that it wasn't that long ago. We're coming up on a year closing, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So we were probably going firm like
It's a
around
situation
now.
with the buyers. Yeah.
Well, but it's things are different is the point. And
Hmm.
buying stuff right now is a pleasure compared to how it used to be because you
Hmm.
can get extensions without worrying that there's 18 guys right behind you willing to pick up the scraps that you've, worked so hard to create already, right?
People
Now it's like,
people are
yeah,
hesitant to buy right now, but
we have another offer, but we really want to get it done with you. Sure, we'll drop the price 20%. And yeah, okay, we'll do a long closing. And yeah, okay, we'll lower the deposit requirements.
mhm.
But you got to let us know now. Mm, do I?
Give me 2 more weeks.
I'll get back to you. Right.
Yeah.
But this is a luxury because never, ever before have I felt like I was in the driver's seat when buying a property. Right.
Hmm.
I always thought that I knew something that the seller didn't know, but that's not the same as being in the driver's seat because you
Hmm.
still want to get that good buy, that good price, that as good a price and as good a terms as you can get, right? Because
Hmm.
there's no secret. Like if you buy well, you're a hell of a lot better off if things go to shit, right? You have
Yeah.
a lot more cushion for
Yeah.
the cushion.
So you
But
feel right now,
I feel like I have
based on
some
that one deal,
power.
but I mean, I'm telling you right now, on the land market's slow. Like who
For
did I get?
sure it is.
Somebody came to me with a waterfront property, Lake Ontario. I got a couple for sale on the east side that are like, 17 acres on Lake Ontario. Build a custom home, agricultural, nice like Malibu cliffs and all that, like on Lake Ontario, right? So it's pretty cool. Just
Fits
east
a
of
particular buyer, I would
Clarington.
imagine.
Yeah, but it's far. You can work in the city still. Like it's not too far. So another guy called and he's like in Lincoln, which is out towards
Lincoln?
Niagara. Yeah. And
Okay.
Beamsville, Lincoln, there's another place
Are you
there.
making these words up? Are you
No, no,
making
no.
these names
These
up?
are places. There's a real place.
I got a listing in
So
Timbuktu.
he's got
Timbuktu's
he
big
called
right
to
now.
say he wants to sell a property that's like 10 acres for 4 million. And all you can do is build a single family home. So I'm like, all right, so hold on a second. This is first of all in a place that Daryl's never heard of. You got to drive there and it's far.
Yeah.
Someone's going to buy the lot for 4 million. They're going to build a house, which is going to cost them another couple $1,000,000. So we need to find a $6-7 million buyer who wants to live in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
When I got
On a cliff.
lots on the other side of the city for $800,000 that he could build on the cliff and enjoy life. Why are they going to buy it for $4 million again? Please explain to me.
Not today, I don't think.
Yeah.
Unless, they know somebody knows something. Maybe there's something to know. Nothing to
Every
know.
seller's the same. Every seller's the same. They all have their own ideas. They all want their money. They all want to get the most, and they should. And buyers, the opposite. You should protect yourself. You shouldn't listen to your realtor. There's plenty of people. There's plenty of clients who have come to me and said, "What should I do?" And they just take my advice and they go, right. And if I was an idiot or a crook or needed a deal or something like that, they would have had some problems, right? But then there's also plenty of clients who don't listen to a word I say. And they're like, no. We're going to go in at this price, or no. We're going to not accept that number or whatever. Like they've got their own agenda.
Sure.
And sometimes they're right. Sometimes they did the right thing. They protected themselves in the end. I'm like, hey, good for you.
I don't think I listen to the realtor. Do I?
You definitely don't know.
I don't listen because I have my plan, and the realtors get in the way of my plans.
What's the realtor's role, Darryl?
With
in
me?
a transaction? Yeah.
Generally, ideally, to just get me to have contact directly with the seller. But that
never works out.
That rarely works out.
Yeah.
No, listen,
what I was going to say is the realtor's job for you is to communicate to the other side in order so you don't have a direct connection with them and screw it all up.
No. See, TK.
Yeah.
This is the thing. I talk very differently to the realtor representing me than I do to the seller if I'm talking directly to the seller.
Yes.
Because what has to happen, right, with me and the realtor, whether it's you, whether it's my daughter, whether it's Jeremiah, whether it's anybody, you're not on my team. Sorry, you're not on my team. You're on your team, right? There's 4 teams in the transaction.
There's 4 teams.
Okay? Yeah. Right. Yeah. But there's the seller, there's the seller's agent. Those are 2
I don't
teams.
view it like that, but go ahead.
Of course you don't view it like that. Right. But the thing is the information in the middle with the realtors, between the realtors and back to the seller gets very different. Okay. Because like you, like my daughter, like anybody, they think that they need to tone down some of the stuff that gets said, and they don't say or they don't convey what needs to be conveyed. So what comes back is not in response to what I said, it's in response to something. Right. So then I get back this answer that's like, that doesn't even make any sense based on what I was trying to say or get across. What the fuck got lost in translation here? And this is what happens is everybody's trying to get the deal to work for themselves and things get muddled up along the way. So when I'm in a room with that seller, there's a different energy there. And now you have a face, you can touch each other, shake hands, you can have a relationship where you can, look, you want to sell this thing? I want to buy this thing. Here's the truth. Can we make the truth work for both of us? Cool. Right. And then the lawyers will fuck it up a little later, but you can get a lot closer to a deal than, okay, here, I want you to say this. And I think this is, what I want to do. And I'm willing to do this. I can't tell you what I'm really willing to do, TK, because you'll use it against me. Maybe not on purpose, but this is how human nature and this is how these people work in general. And I'm sure you are different and everybody's different and doesn't do these things. But the reality is people do this stuff, right? I tell you I'm willing to go up to 11 million and guess what I'm paying all of a sudden, right? But if I tell you, like, tell the guy go fuck himself, I'm dropping the deal, even if I'm not really going to. You act differently, right? Now you're like, oh shit, I'm going to lose my commission. I should figure out how to get this to work again, right? If you believe me.
I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm not saying you're wrong whatsoever.
I don't even know how I
my
went on that rant.
I don't even know. What were we talking about?
I have no
we
idea.
mentioned something
Probably
about
horrible realtors is likely
no, we were
part of the
talking about
topic.
bankruptcies, and then you started talking about Van Dyke, and
Van
then we got
Dyke.
into some other stuff. So like they're talking a lot
Rentals.
about the pre-construction market, and obviously how crap it is, and the 54% less sales, and that we're in the worst pre-construction condo market since, you know, like 27 years ago, something like that, right? So we've got all these little, you know, stats out there to say, ooh, bad,
Negative.
don't do it, don't
Scary.
do it. But it is always in every single article. Anytime you read that, there's always some guy who's in the real estate industry who's going to benefit from sales one way or another, saying, oh, but the housing starts in a few years will be impacted greatly. And in 3, 4, 5 years, we're not going to have any properties coming up for sale. And that's when you're going to see prices start to come up. And so right away, my mind starts going, well, maybe it is a good time to buy right now. Maybe I should get one of those pre-con units. You know what I mean?
Well, I don't know about buying those
premium to buy it today, you know, but that's how
there's certain things that do make sense to buy now, right?
Okay.
And maybe they would be cheaper later. Maybe they won't be cheaper later. Who the hell knows? But we're not talking about buying a condo right now. Buying a condo right now has got to be the dumbest move ever, because you do not need a crystal ball to see that
I'm working on a condo deal right now.
Well, I mean, TK's deal is probably fantastic.
Listen, I'll give you the profile. Right? I'll give you the profile.
It's probably the best one on the market.
She's in her 80s.
Yeah.
No, I'm representing the buyer. She's in her 80s.
Yeah.
It's like a 1,500 square foot unit. She's already sold her house that she lived with and her kids. She's a cash buyer. Okay. And the price is going to be 120,000.
Buyer. What's going on? I thought you're selling a condo. Oh, you have a client that's buying a condo. Okay.
Client. It's $120,000 under the last sale, which was a year ago.
Hold on a second here.
Lakeview, South
1,500 square foot condo.
1,500
it's discounted
120K. 120K from the last year's sale. The other unit that's similar in the same building or a neighboring buildings listed 100K more. So like what? She should just wait.
Well, I mean, she's 80, so
she should just wait and say, you know what?
So if
maybe it's not a good time, you know?
Well,
maybe I'll move a few times away for the market to come down a little bit.
3-4 more months, though. No,
her closing date's coming up on the sale because she had to sell the house that she was with her kids with first.
No
before
couch.
She knew she had the money.
Couch surf for a few months. Listen, of course, TK. Right? You've made the point for 4 years that there's always people that need to transact. And obviously, we see in the numbers that there's transactions that happen. If you have a choice, if you have time and you're looking for condos, like I would say if you're buying now or you want to move in the next few months, now's a good time to fucking pepper everybody with stupid offers and see if anything sticks. This is the best way about going about it right now.
Like 60%.
Whatever the fuck. Who cares? If you don't if
I have an offer date today.
I have an offer date. 17 in the same building now.
I got an offer date today where I received one offer, which is good. Oh, I just received it right now, actually. We can do this live.
Nice. So hold on a second. Today's offer day. What day is today? Thursday for an offer day? Okay. So today's offer day, you just got one live on air.
Yep. On air, live on air.
Above asking or below asking?
70,000 below asking.
That's pretty good. Was asking lower than it should
asking
be?
Is the right price, but the sellers are hoping for more. But asking was the right
price and holding back offers. So that's good. Is the right price more than 20% below peak, man?
Wow, man. Quick calculations. More than 20%? No, less.
Less than 20% below peak, and now we're 70 under asking, and it's still got time to accept more offers.
Yeah, not this one, but we'll see. You know, today you never know. The cat could drag in a few more, and we could have ourselves a good old-fashioned rodeo.
Right. Okay. So let's play a game here, TK, with this scenario here. I'm the seller. Okay.
Okay.
Now, if I told you that, okay, this is the price, we'd like more, but you know, we're willing to take 50 grand under asking, TK.
Oh,
what do you do with this offer, TK?
Well, I go back to the other agent and I
Are you
says,
trying to get
I say
150 grand more?
they're willing to take 50 grand under asking.
That's right.
I
Let's
know.
get this deal done,
I'm
bro.
joking. No, man, you're always looking to get the most for your clients, honestly. Like I know how
It's
people
so not true.
perceive. It's definitely true.
TK is. You can only
the
speak for
majority
you.
of agents that are doing a lot of business, that's
Yeah?
what they're gonna do.
You
Believe me.
think?
Because I'm sometimes dealing with them on one side or the next, and they're always fighting for their clients, and then in the end, they end up conceding, or maybe we concede. I don't know, but
Yeah.
I know that they were doing the best that they could. So I have done this so many times that I know that there's a lot of good agents out there. So
Yeah, there's a couple. There's a couple. So okay, so you're not going back to them and saying, "Look, we're really close," and
no,
just bring it up
in this
25
particular
grand. I think
case,
this can work.
I keep my thoughts to myself because
Right.
I don't know if there's going to be any more offers. So I don't really know what position I need to take. So right
That's
now,
right. It's
I'm
early.
just staying quiet and I'll just see what
Formulating.
happens. Even if my clients call me and they say, "What are we going to do?" and I'm going to tell them,
Processing.
I don't know. But when the time comes that we need to make a decision, I'll make sure that I've got a clear plan to ensure that you're getting the most amount of money. That's
The most amount of money. I mean, it's not always about the most amount of money with some people, I suppose.
No, but I know the clients.
Right now it is. Right
there's
now
certain
it
clients
definitely
that's
is.
going to be their shtick.
So everybody, not everybody, a lot of people, including me, and I don't think we've seen the results yet, but like I think a lot of people thought that when the rate cycle started going in the down in the cut direction, that things would be a lot more robust than they are at the moment, right? And so,
what do you mean?
Well, didn't we think that when they start cutting, like good times are coming back?
You thought that?
I did think that. And I'm pretty sure that that was like out there on the show. And I was like, can't wait for them to cut because that's going to be good times here again.
Yeah.
But I mean, like everything, I didn't think that they were going to raise rates like crazy either. And I didn't think they were going to drop rates like crazy during the pandemic. Like I've been wrong about all this stuff, right? But it doesn't matter because you can change your opinion and you can change your direction,
especially on this show.
Game, right?
I am 100% willing and able to change my opinion and say I was
to be right,
wrong, misinformed. I'm ready to go in another direction, and I'll even change back to my original opinion later on and say, yeah, you know what, I tried it the other way and it just doesn't work for me.
Right, but
no shame.
Listen, we may not be right about everything. We may not have the right stats about everything like some other shows, right? But what we do have, TK, is, we're doing pretty good in our business careers. I mean, you're the top realtor on earth, right? Of the top team on earth, basically. Right? And I'm obviously the best developer in all of the country.
No one would question that.
No one would question that. So, I mean, I think we can, be a little wrong sometimes and change our direction. And, nobody gives a shit. Why would they give a shit? Nobody's watching this show because they think that the answer is going to come from one of the two of us, right? Like you get tidbits.
Maybe they just want the free t-shirts. I sent out a bunch this week. So guys, if you did send me an email, I didn't reply, but I definitely sent it. If you sent me the info, you got a t-shirt. You might even already have it.
You might have it. And
feel free, guys, if you want more t-shirts, to send me a message. People were sending it through Realtor.ca. There's a link below. There's a few different options. Some people were just texting me. They found my number online.
Comment section. Whatever. Hey, where's my t-shirt, bro?
Yeah, cool. But I need an address and a name.
And
I'm paying money for this. It's not cheap to send them to you. So, make sure you appreciate. Some people sent money. That was nice. If you guys want to send money, you can send money.
Donations.
Yeah.
I mean, we should get some pictures of some of these people in the shirts, and it'd be nice to hear what they think about the shirts once the quality they put them on. Yeah.
Look, if they're going to go to the gym.
Yeah. Are they good for the gym?
It's a good gym. Yeah. Sweat
resistant.
It's kind of like cheap dry fit.
Don't they just drip that? Like it just drip down your body?
No.
They don't. Do they absorb?
They breathe.
They breathe.
Yeah. They breathe.
So what does that even mean?
They breathe. The air goes in and out. The moisture gets wicked away, and Bob's your uncle.
Bob's your uncle. Well, and if Bob's your uncle, please ask him to sub to the channel, TK, or check us out on Instagram. Instagram is our best channel right now, TK.
Crazy.
Holy,
yeah.
Jumping. Jesus.
Millions of views a year. 2 million views a year on everything.
No, we're on pace for over 3 million views
3
in
million
the next
views
year, which is absolutely insane. And I think that's going to end up being low. But right now, we're doing hundreds of thousands of views a month. which is just insane. And we love you guys for being so supportive of us. I mean, a lot of you are assholes, though. I mean, some of you could,
I don't think so.
stop being such
I think some of you
dicks in the
try to be
comment section.
jerks,
For
but
God's
I see right
sakes.
through that. The fact that you came back and commented the next week
Scary.
tells me you really love us.
There's some guys that like hated us at the beginning, and now I feel like they're kind of like part of the family in the comments. Like, there's definitely a rowdy,
Community.
ready community out there in the comment section, which is really cool.
All about that.
Super cool. Well, anyways, we thank you. Please give that thing a thumbs up and press a button and press a different button. And Spotify is a really good way to listen to the show.
Yeah.
And you can see video,
do like a
there, too.
podcast and do different things there.
But just go follow us on Spotify if you have Spotify. For God's sakes, you don't have to watch it. Just help a brother out. But TK, so interest rates.
Tell me,
we're a big nothing burger.
So interest rates, back to the
18 months from now, maybe,
is that the reason they're going down is because the economy's hurting. We expect that they're going to be going down a little bit further. The real estate market's going down, so the impact of interest rates, because everyone thought once the interest rates go down, we're going to start to see more activity. Right.
Lag. Respect the lag. Respect the lag.
May or may not
feeling the old
may
stuff.
or may not happen. I don't know. But one thing that happened for sure is a bunch of people listed their properties as soon as those rates started coming down, because they said, finally, it's a good time to sell. There's
gonna be
it's
buyers.
Such a psychological.
What a mind fuck this whole thing is.
Exactly, right? It's such a psychological twist when you're going through the best times to sell your property. Everyone's, you're looking around and things are flying off the shelf. You see this price that makes no sense for your home, but part of you says, soon, maybe I can get more.
I think I can get a little bit more.
I can just hold on a little bit longer.
Oh, Daddy,
and then as soon as the
Porsche.
Market changes and all of a sudden things go back to where they were before or worse than before, whatever it was, now everyone's sitting around going, man, why didn't I sell when those guys were selling? That guy knocked on my door. You know how many knock on the door stories I get every single week?
Yeah.
Listen, guy knocked on my door to buy my house and he offered me 1.8. So I want the same thing. Well, when did he knock on your door? 2022, 2021. I'm not really sure, but
I remember he had a mask on. He was wearing a mask.
I just want to get that number. Otherwise, don't worry about it. I say, okay, all right. Not worried about it. Sorry. I'm excited.
Well, so I mean, we're still feeling the effects of the hikes, I think, right? Like, if everybody says that it lags 18 to 24 months, we're still feeling that whole thing.
Yeah.
And then these cuts are going to be felt, I guess, in another year or something like that. Well, that sounds, well, to be honest with you, that sounds really good for me, hopefully, with everything that I've got going on.
I hope that people just don't lose their houses as much. We're not seeing a ton of power sales.
What are you talking about? Forget about it. We just saw, like, everybody's talking about how there's 350 people going bankrupt a day in Canada now.
That's businesses and people, and the business ones. We had
still not a lot of bankruptcy,
and most of it is the CEBA loans.
CEBA loans.
Yeah, it's just like,
people going bankrupt over CEBA.
I don't even know why I have this company. But they gave me that $60,000. I'm supposed to pay it all back, but
are you spitting facts? Are you telling the truth right now?
Came on Patrick Bloomfield
on our show.
Yeah,
but that was months ago.
But that's what it is, though. It's the same thing. It's the same pattern right now.
Is it? Because it's increased like 8 billion fold.
No, that's not true either. But even if those 350 are people and not businesses, the major increase to bankruptcies was businesses.
The major increase was businesses. So probably restaurants and retailers. Who else is going out of business right now?
I'm hearing a lot of job cuts in tech. I'm hearing a lot of job cuts in,
I guess there's some startups that just are like, okay, we got to pull the plug.
Banks laid off a bunch of people. So like, there's a ton of stuff. Like, the unemployment rate right now is climbing.
Oh, real estate, construction. Yeah. There's a ton.
I can see it continuing to go up.
What about manufacturing?
Pretty record, minus COVID, but pretty record hitting employment rates, just because there's going to be so many more people and so many more businesses who are struggling to pay their debt. I was talking to a guy today and he said,
struggling to pay it, or they're about to renew?
The debt that they've got, the business debt. A lot of business debt is on a variable loan, right? On a variable rate.
Oh.
a lot of them. So it's like, they've been struggling for a while to pay off their debt. I was talking to a guy today, he's a long-term client and friend, and he said he's got like 50 couples in his little circle of friends. He says everybody bought boats, everybody bought um, SUVs, everybody bought dirt bikes and ATVs and all that
Cottages,
stuff.
yeah.
Cottages, yeah, cottages.
Yeah.
Right? And he's like, everybody's
Rental.
selling them now.
Yeah.
He's like, everybody's selling them. He said the payments went up, they can't afford them, they don't want them anymore, And I was just like, now's a good time to buy a boat,
Now is I
right?
swear to God, like
Make an offer.
having money right now is such a blessing. It's
Yeah.
insane. I just spoke to somebody. Okay. I I got a new car and I got such a steal on this thing. It's ridiculous. Okay. Ridiculous. Somebody was just telling me that they're looking to buy a car. Okay. It's such a piece of shit. It's such a piece of crap. It's almost the same price I paid for my car, which
Mhm.
is definitely not a piece of crap. And it's insane the deals you can get out there right now. Insane.
On what?
What?
On cars?
On cars. Yeah,
I don't think
people are
so.
in trouble. Oh
I
my
don't think you can
God.
get a deal right now on cars.
I just got the craziest deal.
Arm's
Uh,
length transaction.
what's that?
Arm's length
Not really
transaction.
arm's length, but like
Exactly.
definitely needed to sell the thing.
Yeah. That's a different story, right? So
Yeah,
yeah,
it's
if
a
you start
different
going
story.
into,
But
the market,
yeah,
people are still, because I was looking for a car for a bit there. Like I need a
yeah.
new car. My car, how many
New car is
kilometers,
different.
how many kilometers do you think a car should have? Like
If you're
what's the
buying a
most
used
kilometers?
car,
No, no, no. Like when you change your car.
uh,
Everyone's got a different opinion on this.
I don't know. It depends on the car. Some cars are great after they have 200,000 kilometers.
Yeah.
I've never had a car that had 200,000 kilometers. So,
I
so I don't
have
know.
one right now with over 200,000
Yeah.
and it looks amazing. And I drive a lot. So it's like I put these kilometers on fast. And I'm like, I want to change it just because it's got a lot of kilometers, but like there's nothing wrong with the car. And it still
Yeah.
looks good. I'm just
Yeah.
like, what do I do? Right.
It's tough.
And so I'm shopping for new cars. So I'm educating myself in the market. I'm treating the car market like I am. I would tell a buyer to treat the housing market. Go out and
Yeah.
look at a lot of cars, test drive a lot of cars, see what you like, watch the prices. I got all
Watch
these
the
set up on Auto
prices.
Trader. Things are coming down. And then I'll make an informed decision when the time comes, which may not even be till next year, to be honest with you. If I can get this thing to 300,000, that'll be like an achievement. I've never done that before. And literally nothing's wrong with
Yeah.
this car. I got everything's been taken care of on this car, like just from the dealer, like never since brand new.
Some
I'm like,
people
what am I
drive their
gonna do?
cars until they don't work anymore and they don't give a shit.
Yeah,
I like to have a decent car. I don't need the best car in the world,
yeah. But my
although
car's
that'd
still
be pretty
decent, so
cool.
I understand what you're saying, right?
But I still think that price, I mean, it depends when you started looking, but if you've been watching car prices for like the
6 months.
last year, I'm pretty sure that they're down a decent amount depending
They're
on
coming
what you're
down.
looking at.
I'm getting listings that says it's coming down.
Did I tell you I was at my friend's house and their Range Rover got stolen in the middle of the day? Did I tell you
Yeah, you
about
told me
that?
that. Yeah.
Holy Jesus. I wonder how that market's doing right now. Are people
Could I
still
could
needing
if anybody
stolen
knows where I
cars?
can buy a stolen Range Rover,
Yeah, go on
I don't
Facebook.
want to know about it. So don't put your name into the section where you can reach out and have a call with TK. Don't do that. I
Don't
don't
put
want to
the
know anything about
address.
it.
Yeah.
All right.
But it's so crazy how easy it was. Like we were literally in the backyard and they
Yeah.
stole the car
Yeah.
from the
That's crazy.
driveway. Like
Yeah.
that's
In
insane. In the
in the
daylight.
wealthy neighborhoods, they have those poles, right, that come up from the ground.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what you have to
Yeah.
get. If you don't have a, basically, that's like
That's
I'm rich, and I'm here to show off. Is when you've got a pole that comes from the ground and raises up in front of your garage door so that people can't steal your car, and that it automatically goes down when you press a button on your way out. That's when you know you're rich. But if you're not in that type of house, I'm sorry,
yeah, I would just sell the car
go
and
get a
get
job.
out of a Range Rover because it seems like that's all the people that have those bollards. What
Yeah.
else is going on out there? I didn't really get enough time this week to prepare anything. You know what my preparation was? I asked Chat GPT what it thought would be like good topics to talk about for the show
Lazy,
today.
horrible.
And it actually came up with some decent stuff, but I mean, I'm not really interested in any of that stuff. I'm trying to think what else happened this week. What happened this week? So it's really crazy how little people know how to do their jobs in this industry and how things continue to function and things continue to transact.
Tell me.
Like, well, let me give you a scenario. I'm not going to tell you what happened because I don't really want to make the person look bad at the moment. Um, maybe next week. But let's say put a you put a firm deposit on a property, right?
Mhm.
And because it's firm, you've also part of the clause was that the owner gets to take the money right away. Okay. Is there any reason why the realtors would have to forfeit their commissions because of that
No,
arrangement?
no,
No.
there's an irrevocable direction by the seller to their lawyer to forward the commission as per the listing agreement to the listing brokerage once they receive the funds on closing.
Right. And so normally you would the brokerage, some brokerage would have the deposit in
Most brokerages
trust,
want
right?
it because they feel secure. They feel like, I got the money.
I'll get my money.
Make sure I get the money.
I'll get
And
my
there's
money.
certain scenarios where that would benefit you. But if it's in a lawyer's trust account or if it's with the seller already, it doesn't negate the fact that the commission's owed.
You're not waiving your right at getting your commission because of that arrangement.
No.
No, and there's nothing like that would like okay, so that is pretty straightforward, right? Is there any situation like that could occur where that would somehow, eliminate the seller or either agent's commission? I don't think.
Scenario that would eliminate the commission.
Yeah,
No, they've got a listing
because you
agreement
gave the
because of the
deposit.
deposit. No, it has nothing to do with that at all.
It has nothing
Just
to do
agent.
with it.
So two reasons. One is the average agent doesn't know any better. So when they're not experienced, they're going to say, no, the money's got to be in my brokerage trust account. That's what the way my brokerage wants it. Okay. So that's one. So they're just not too sure. Two is the brokerage really does want it in their trust account.
Sure.
And that they're telling their agents that you really should get it in the trust account. Don't let it be in the lawyer's account. The lawyers could go bankrupt. There's a million things that can happen. You lose control over the deposit, you lose control over the deal. And so that's, I think, the two big things. So I mean, every situation is different. I just did a release. We had a $250,000 deposit.
Hold on.
Okay.
If you were to get a call from somebody at a brokerage that would tell you that you've given up your right to a commission because of this deposit, would you think it was A, the broker of record, B, the admin from the office staff, or C, the realtor that you did the deal with?
Am I the buyer's agent?
You are the buyer's agent.
I'm the buyer's agent. And because of this structure, I would assume, because communication would be with the agent that you're doing the deal with. That's where I would assume it was coming from.
Yeah, because that makes sense that somebody at that level might think that would be a mistake. Although that doesn't make any damn sense because you're the other agent. You're damn sure you made sure you're going to get your goddamn commission on this deal, right?
Okay.
So it wasn't that. It's so ridiculous.
Who was
the
it
person?
then?
Well, I'll tell you next week if you can't figure it out. Right?
That's
I'll
the
tell you
worst
next
story
week.
ever.
Maybe at the end of the show. But what's shocking is that the right people don't know how things work in this industry.
Yeah.
And the wrong people are in the right places all over the place. Right? It's
the way
really
so brokerages
crazy.
are very linear, and they've got their structure, and that the people. I mean, let's face it here. And I'm not saying anything bad. I love the support staff. I love the people at the office and all that kind of stuff. But they're not like lawyers or even law clerks. And they're definitely not realtors. They're just employees of the brokerage. And they have been trained a certain way to take care of certain things. So there are times where I have to sort of like step in and be like, listen, I understand that's the procedure, but we actually don't need to have X, Y, and Z. And most of the time I get oh, okay. Other times I get a confused, well, what about this or that? And I just provide the paperwork anyways because
You're talking about when you work with an admin.
I'm talking about anybody at the office. Yeah.
Even the broker of record?
I'm not going to say that. He definitely should know what he's talking about. Our broker of record definitely does, but there might be circumstances where a broker of record is confused about the exact procedure. And that maybe it's something that they haven't seen very often, and that there's a solution that you can do that's an alternative to what they thought they can do. Yeah, absolutely. And I've been there, and I suggest it, and sometimes my broker takes my advice.
I heard this and I was like, that is so fucking wrong and so fucking stupid. I can't even believe that this person said this, let alone thought this.
Yeah.
And it was like posed in a way was like, you gave up your commission because of this. And I was like, if they think you gave up yours because of this, then like, where the fuck is theirs coming from? Right? Like, what is going on here?
There
right
is
now?
no like, you know,
I
theirs
was
or yours. Everything goes to listing brokerage.
blown away. And there'll be more story next week, depending on what happens with this in the next few days.
So did you hear about the missing realtor in Toronto?
The missing realtor.
Yeah. Anita Moy.
Is this a joke? Like you need a Moy is
No,
really
Anita's her
making me,
first
are you trying
name.
to make
Her
me
last
say
name's
something?
Moy.
Anita Moy?
Yeah,
does that sound like something?
She's a good agent, like, you know. Like
is this for real? That's a
I'm dead
person's
serious.
name?
In Markham. So a few days ago, she went missing.
Disappeared?
Yeah, it's a homicide investigation. They found her car,
No.
and they've been looking around for her for a few days.
Really?
Yeah, I'm dead serious.
Is it like related to real estate
we don't know anything yet,
shenanigans?
but all the realtors posted on Facebook because it shows support, and that, you know, maybe somebody on their Facebook saw her. You know, I don't know.
Oh, that's horrible.
I know.
I mean, it's horrible when it happens to anybody.
Yeah.
Well, so I guess
There's always seems to be like that.
One less realtor in Toronto.
I don't think. That's horrible.
That's
to say,
so
that's
bad.
so horrible.
Who says stuff like that
there's
out loud? Honestly.
So first of all, and this has nothing to do with her. Every once in a while, there is a case about like some criminal stuff going on with a realtor that's involved. And generally speaking, the realtor that's involved, you know, has got some things going on in their life that they probably shouldn't have going on. You know, this is definitely not her. Like, I definitely don't think that's about her too. But every once in a while, those type of things happen. And so, you know, it's easy to make the news and stuff like that. Like you never hear like pharmacists gone missing.
No.
You know, his Volkswagen was found in the parking lot at Shoppers Drug Mart.
Yeah, because who's reading that headline?
We haven't seen him for 45 minutes.
Right.
You know,
we just had like 1% of Toronto realtors murdered. Right.
No,
that you read.
No. Anyways, Darryl, let's move on from that topic.
You brought it up. I didn't even know about it.
Well, because it's important. Otherwise,
it'd be important if it was like
the current situation. Situation, okay, is that buyers who are sitting around all summer doing nothing have started to pick up the phone again and start to go look at. Activity is up. I had one property sitting on the market for 60 days, couldn't get it sold. I sold a conditional the other day.
Are people delisting properties? Are we seeing less inventory? Are people like just I
haven't seen that. No, I've seen it just an increase in demand.
Increase in demand.
My predictions are this, okay? Because this happens every single year.
Yeah.
It happens every year. September comes, we get a rush of buyers because all at the same time, these buyers come into the market. And what happens is a few properties sell. A few properties get multiple bids. A few properties sell over asking. Ignites a little fire inside the buyers. And they go out there and they start buy. And then it stops. And it usually stops around the end of September. And then based on last year's trends and the trends that we've seen this year, it goes down from there. In the years past, it might just go up slowly. But I think September is going to be a great time to put your house on the market and sell.
Based on
I think right now is a good time if you're looking to buy, because right now there's not a lot of buyers out there and that you're going to have an opportunity to get in. But selling, wait till after Labor Day weekend. Based on what? Based on the story I just told you. Weren't listening?
But if you have a home, not if you have a condo.
Condo, you should have sold it 5 years ago. I don't know why did it take so long for you to get your condo on the market? But bottom line is, if you haven't, then you need to list your condo right away.
Right away?
You need to get it listed, and you need to be the best price listing in that building, and you need to get it sold to the next buyer who's buying in that building. Because I'm telling you, that condo market is not coming back anytime soon.
No,
we're going to have a lot of problems going on over there.
There's going to be a lot of inventory for a while.
A long time.
And there's more coming. How long?
Negative cash flow. When you're that much negative cash flow, it impacts you so much. It's not just like I'm losing $1,000 a month.
Yeah.
Right? It's what I could have been doing with that $1,000 a month. How hard I'm working to pay that $1,000 a month.
I need that $2,000 a month.
That negative cash flow just eats away at you emotionally. You know, it just you might be able to handle it, but after 6 months of you not actually getting anything because you're just paying interest and whatever, like you're not actually getting something for that money, all of a sudden now it beats you up hard. You know, it beats you. You don't want to do that anymore. You might have thought you wanted to do it, but after a little while you go, I don't want to do this anymore.
Yeah,
It's
but
time to get out.
it's when it's not on top of it. When you did it, you're like, this thing's gonna go up so much before I even close on it. I'm gonna make so much
That's
money,
a
and I
whole
don't
nother story.
care about this.
Nobody should be buying like if I'm going to sign a contract for a pre-construction house or condo, there is no way in hell that I'm going to be like, oh yeah, I'll just sell it to somebody else and I won't have to close. Like that's the most common sense tactic you could possibly come up with as a strategy is any houses that I sign a contract for, I'm able to purchase. I can get the financing for to purchase.
But
That's it.
it
If you
wasn't
can't,
long
don't
ago.
sign the contract.
It wasn't long ago that they wouldn't allow you to have an assignment. Now it's like a selling feature that you can assign the
I've been doing that
contract.
for a little while. Yeah.
Well, it started off as you couldn't. Then
Yeah.
you had to pay for the right to.
Mhm.
And now it's just like a add-on feature, like right? Like it's
Yeah.
like getting
Get it.
upgraded baseboards now.
Yeah.
This is crazy. Even even from my perspective, I've been saying it forever. It's just so crazy. Meanwhile, okay, you want to talk about last week and last week's guest and what people were kind of saying about that after, and what people are kind of saying in comments across all channels here? Because,
Yes.
well, I mean, I don't think too many people were on board with the idea. I think maybe just the developers are the ones that are on board with the idea. A lot of people are seeing holes in the plan and like who's going to fill the holes. I mean, I even brought up like what happens to the guys who just sold like normally across the street, right? What happens to all these values that just crater all of a sudden because of this idea? So
Hold on. Why?
why? Because okay, Benny just bought a unit across the street for $1,400 a foot, and it's maybe started construction, and now all these new ones are able to sell at $1,200 a foot because they got all the discounts for the development charges, or
So
1,100
you're
bucks, right?
worried about Benny. So
I'm
we're gonna
worried
save
about
Benny in
Benny,
order
and not
to
only
not
Benny.
decrease the price per square foot from 1,400 to 1,200. But
Benny's
everyone's like, what about Benny?
Well, but Benny's part of a group of another 250 buyers in the same building, right?
Why are we protecting 250 buyers in order to be able to maintain a higher price for a product that millions of people can live in? Why are we protecting a few tenants who've been there for a long time by literally taking those units off the market and preventing other people from having a home?
Because we don't care about everybody else. We only care about ourselves, TK. We all just want to not lose money on our homes, TK. This is rudimentary. This is very, very reasonable request. Like the entire economy for my entire adult life has been based on real estate, not just my life, everyone around me, everyone in this bloody country, right? And so you can't just do that because so many people bought shit at that point. And yes, they were stupid. And yes, the stupid ones maybe deserve to get killed. But TK, there's so many innocent bystanders that would get so destroyed by that move that I do agree, maybe you got to sacrifice some for the greater good. But this seems like there will be unintended consequences that have not been thought through completely. And I'm not saying it's not a good idea. I mean, the fucking development charges are ridiculous, right? But maybe it's better to just kind of keep them for ourselves for a bit and make a little bit more money and maybe smooth it out a little bit. Like, smooth. What did we say about the curve? Like flatten the curve a little bit.
Flatten the curve a little bit.
Like stretch it out a little bit so that we can absorb
first of all,
this difference
Darryl,
in the
first
market.
of all, let's just be honest here that the guest from last week ain't gonna do nothing about nothing. Okay.
I don't know.
No government's gonna change development charges because some group of developers decided that they were going to petition for it. It's cute. It's nice.
Maybe on purpose-built rental.
I think it sounds like a great idea. I'm not against it in any way. I just know that the government doesn't do anything for anybody. Never mind a group of developers. Like, you know how developers get government politicians to be able to do what they want. Yeah. They don't sign a bill and make it public.
No.
They sit down with them. They go to the Las Vegas massage parlors.
That's
they
right.
find places that politician likes to eat dinner. They go to their daughter's wedding. We know how this works.
Oh, you want the science center, do you? We can make that happen
My
for
daughter's
you.
getting married next weekend there,
Little
and she
donation,
definitely is
little
going to have a
wedding
cash
present.
box for
Yeah.
anybody looking to donate.
Little wedding present for the science center.
Yeah.
That's a nice wedding present, I would imagine.
I think the Science Center deal is like going to be an amazing
Canceled?
site.
It's
No
gonna
way.
get canceled?
No way. It's going to be an
No way.
amazing site. Yeah.
It should be. I mean, have you
Yeah.
looked at this thing overhead? The parking lot is so big. You
Yeah.
know, why do we have to lose the science center? Like the parking lot could probably have 7 buildings in it, right?
Yeah.
And build like underground parking for the science center somewhere. I
Yeah.
don't think you really needed to get rid of the science center.
But
Sell the
there's another
parking
4
lot.
buildings that can go there. So you know what, Daryl?
How great
Science
would it
Center's got
be
to
if you
go.
could subway to the science center? I guess people been able to do that for a while? No,
No.
the
It's
subway
coming up.
doesn't go
The
there yet.
Ontario line's coming. Yeah.
Right. So
Yeah.
imagine that. I mean,
Yeah.
imagine you could take the subway to that boring old decrepit thing that was good 40 years ago. How have they not updated that? Who the fuck cares? Okay, TK, what else do we got going on right now?
Overall, it's the end of the summer. You got the exhibitions opening up.
Oh yeah.
People
That
are
should
starting
smell good
to,
this year. Yeah.
plan, for the school year already.
People are
We
going
got
to be
only
shitting
two.
at the CNE. They're not going to wait for the toilets to be
I
empty.
don't
They're
think
going to
that's going
shit
to happen.
right
I
there.
documented my journey to Wasaga Beach, and there was nobody stooping and pooping.
Nobody? I was
Nobody.
in Brampton, and I'm not even joking. We pulled into this park, and we needed to use the washroom, so we saw a porta potty,
Mhm.
and dude couldn't wait for the porta potty. He just started right beside the damn thing, and I'm not even joking.
So you witnessed it firsthand? No, this was a standing.
I don't know.
This was not a squatting.
No, this was a number one.
Okay.
But like, come on, guy. Come
Right.
on, guys. Like, go around a corner. Like, don't do it beside the toilet.
What's the whole
That's
point
just
of this?
fucking
Right?
crazy.
You're in the lineup, basically.
Yeah. Thank
Imagine if you're
God
in the
it
lineup
wasn't
for
a
the
number
Apple
2.
iPhone, and you're like, you've been there for a week, and you just start.
It was fitting though.
right
Like
there in
the
the line.
one time I go to Brampton, right? Like I'm passing through Brampton, going,
You can't
"Holy shit,
do
this
one
is
episode
different."
without.
Bringing up Brampton.
Yeah, you can't do it.
I want to buy something in Brampton. There's
It's your
high
unconscious
demand in
bias.
Brampton. Think anybody would buy from me in Brampton now? Am
Buy
I
what?
hated in Brampton, TK?
They love you in Brampton. I heard.
I think they should love me in Brampton.
They love
Well,
us in Brampton.
if you're still watching and you live in Brampton, you should
love you.
subscribe, and we love you.
And don't worry about it. I got
Don't worry
Darryl
about
under
it.
control.
We're gonna send you a T-shirt.
Yeah, and guys, get your T-shirt addresses to me. I'd love to send you some more. Yeah, and let us know in the comments what you thought about today's show. We're happy to discuss it, about all the interesting things that we talked about. Whether that's true or not, we'll find out.
I feel like we were very scattered, TK. I did not have an agenda, and
It's okay.
I mean,
We had good hats.
the hats are good.
We had.
If you want a DealCore Properties hat, you can have one. If you want one, let me know.
Whoa,
DealCore Properties hats. Let's get them out there.
Holy smokes!
I need a new logo though. Do I need a new logo? I feel like I need a new logo. I don't feel like
the hat logo is good because you could read it.
Well, you can read it, but like it's really boring. I mean, I like it.
You can read it. That's the main thing.
You can read it.
Yeah.
Reading is good. Well,
yeah.
if you're interested in the Forest Hill site, maybe getting a unit or just kind of keeping it up with what's going on there, go to my website. You can sign up on there now. If you want to invest some money in a purpose-built rental property, allowed to do this.
Basically, what he said was, reach out to Darryl and just to see if he has any opportunities. But we're not trying to sell you any particular opportunities.
No,
but
just
reach out to him and
family.
just ask him to say, "Can I be your friend?" and get in on one of your deals. And he'll let you know if he has any, because he may not.
May not, but maybe I do. I need a new microphone, TK.
No worries.
TK, always a pleasure. I'll
Absolutely.
catch you. Where? Oh, no.
On the flip side.
On the flip side. I don't know what's going on with my mic, but I'll talk to you later.
Okay, bye.